power of communication is often underestimated in relationships, yet it is one of the most essential tools for building a connection that goes beyond superficial attraction. When it comes to capturing someone's heart and truly making them yours, the right words can have a transformative impact. Words are not just sounds or letters, they are carriers of meaning, emotion, and intention. They have the ability to inspire, heal, and create bonds that are difficult to break. But for this to happen, your communication must come from a place of genuine understanding and authenticity. When you truly understand the power of communication, you realize it's not about manipulation or crafting the perfect script to impress someone. Instead, it's about speaking in a way that resonates deeply with the other person. This requires emotional intelligence and the willingness to observe, listen, and learn about the individual you're trying to connect with. Communication is not just about what you say, but also how you say it. Tone, timing, and context all play crucial roles. A heartfelt phrase said at the right moment can open emotional doors, while careless or poorly timed words can shut them just as quickly. Understanding him starts with paying attention. What does he care about? What are his passions, fears, and dreams? When you listen attentively to what someone shares, you gain valuable insight into their emotional world. This is where you begin to bridge the gap between two people's experiences. Instead of speaking from your perspective alone, you start framing your words in ways that align with his values and emotions. For example, if he values ambition and hard work, expressing admiration for his dedication or sharing how his qualities inspire you can spark a chord. If he places importance on kindness and empathy, highlighting how much you appreciate these traits in him can create a strong emotional bond. Moreover, genuine communication often involves vulnerability. Many people mistakenly think that showing vulnerability makes them weak or less desirable, but the opposite is true. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you are demonstrating trust and authenticity, which are the cornerstones of any meaningful relationship. For instance, expressing how his actions or words make you feel, whether they make you happy, supported, or understood, shows that you are emotionally invested, open to a deeper connection. However, it's also essential to strike a balance between vulnerability and strength. Confidence in your words shows that you respect yourself and have a clear sense of who you are. When you communicate with both confidence and vulnerability, it creates a compelling dynamic that draws people closer. For example, saying something like, "I admire how passionate you are about your goals. It inspires me to push harder toward my own dreams," communicates admiration and respect while also revealing a part of yourself. This kind of exchange invites him to see you as someone who complements his journey rather than someone who is overly dependent or seeking validation. Timing is another critical aspect of effective communication. The same words can have entirely different effects depending on when they are spoken. Pay attention to his mood, the environment, and the flow of your interactions. If he's stressed or distracted, your words might not land as intended. On the other hand, when he is relaxed and open, even a simple statement can have a profound impact. For instance, if he shares something personal with you, acknowledging his openness with a thoughtful response like, "Thank you for trusting me with that, it means a lot," can strengthen the bond between you. Additionally, communication is not just about the words you speak, but also about the energy behind them. People can sense when your words come from a place of sincerity versus when they are rehearsed or insincere. Authenticity in your words reflects emotional alignment, making your communication more impactful. Compliments and expressions of appreciation are more meaningful when they are specific and personalized. Instead of saying, "You're amazing, try," the way you approach challenges with such determination amazes me. It's one of the things I really admire about you. This level of specificity shows that you are paying attention to who he is as an individual. Lastly, effective communication involves patience and consistency. Building emotional trust and connection doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous process that requires nurturing and care. Sometimes he might not respond to your words in the way you expect, and that's okay. Everyone processes emotions and relationships differently. The key is to remain consistent in your efforts, showing that your words are backed by genuine intentions and actions. In conclusion, understanding the power of communication is about more than just saying the right things. It's about creating a space where he feels seen, heard, and valued. When your words are rooted in authenticity, aligned with his emotions, and delivered with confidence and vulnerability, they become a bridge to a deeper connection. By mastering the art of meaningful communication, you can foster a bond that transcends surface-level attraction, creating a relationship built on trust, respect, and mutual admiration. Actions often speak louder than words, and understanding how to convey your intentions through subtle, silent actions can have a profound impact on how others perceive and value you. Silence, when used intentionally, is not about withholding communication or creating distance. It is about mastering the art of expressing strength, confidence, and emotional intelligence without needing to verbalize every thought or feeling. In relationships, especially romantic ones, these silent actions can carry immense weight, subtly reshaping how someone views you and the dynamic between you both. When you focus on your own self-worth and let your actions reflect that, it creates an undeniable sense of respect and intrigue. For instance, prioritizing your growth and well-being communicates that you are not dependent on someone else for validation or fulfillment. This is not about being indifferent or cold. Rather, it's about showing that you are a complete person on your own, with or without their presence. A life well lived, filled with purpose and passion, naturally attracts admiration and value. Whether it's pursuing your career goals, nurturing your hobbies, or building meaningful relationships outside the romantic sphere, these actions speak volumes about your independence and strength. Maintaining composure during conflicts or emotionally charged situations is another silent action that has a powerful impact. When faced with tension or disagreements, it's easy to let emotions take over and react impulsively. However, choosing to stay calm and composed not only prevents unnecessary escalation, but also demonstrates emotional maturity. This kind of behavior makes a strong impression, as it shows you are someone who can handle challenges with grace and thoughtfulness. Moreover, silence during these moments allows you to listen actively and process the situation, ensuring that any response you eventually provide is well considered and meaningful. Setting clear boundaries is another silent action that speaks volumes. When you establish and maintain boundaries, you send a clear message about your self-respect and expectations. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about creating a framework for healthy interactions and relationships. For example, if someone consistently disrespects your time or commitments, choosing to distance yourself without engaging in heated arguments communicates that you will not tolerate such behavior. This silent assertion of your values compels others to respect you more, as it shows you prioritize your well-being and have a strong sense of self-worth. Consistency is a silent yet powerful force in building trust and value. When your actions consistently align with your words and principles, you become someone reliable and dependable. This builds credibility and deepens the connection you share with others. For instance, showing up when you promise to, following through on commitments, and maintaining an integrity in your choices all demonstrate that you are someone who can be counted on. Over time, this silent consistency earns respect and admiration, as it sets you apart from those who may falter or be inconsistent in their behavior. Additionally, mastering the art of nonverbal communication can significantly enhance the impact of your silent actions. Your body language, eye contact, and facial expressions all contribute to the messages you send. A confident posture, steady eye contact, and a calm demeanor convey strength and self-assuredness without needing a single word. On the other hand, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or displaying nervous energy can undermine the very message you want to send. By becoming more aware of your nonverbal cues, you can ensure that they align with the image you wish to project. Silence can also be a form of emotional intelligence. Knowing when to step back and allow someone space to process their thoughts or feelings is a subtle but impactful gesture. It shows that you are attuned to their needs and are not trying to dominate the interaction. For example, in moments of conflict or decision-making, giving someone the room to reflect demonstrates respect for their perspective. This kind of silent patience fosters a sense of trust and mutual understanding, as it shows you value their autonomy and emotions. Perhaps one of the most profound silent actions is simply being present. In a world filled with distractions, offering someone your undivided attention is a rare and meaningful gesture. Whether it's through active listening, being fully engaged during shared moments, or offering support without seeking anything in return, your presence can speak louder than any words ever could. Kind of attentiveness shows that you genuinely care and are invested in a relationship, creating a bond that feels secure and valued. Lastly, gratitude and appreciation can be expressed through silent actions that leave a lasting impression. Small gestures, such as a thoughtful note, a kind act, or simply being there during important moments, can communicate your feelings in ways that words might not fully capture. These actions reflect a deep sense of care and consideration, reinforcing the value you place on the connection. In essence, silent actions are about embodying the qualities you wish to convey: strength, respect, love, and authenticity. They transcend words, creating a deeper, more meaningful impact that resonates on an emotional level. By focusing on what you do rather than what you say, you demonstrate that your value lies not in empty promises, but in the integrity and authenticity of your actions. Ultimately, these silent gestures pave the way for relationships built on mutual respect and admiration, leaving no room for doubt about your worth. Silence often carries more power than words, especially when it comes to navigating relationships and interactions with others. One of the most profound ways to demonstrate your self-worth and create a lasting impact is by choosing not to react emotionally or impulsively when faced with challenges, rejections, or disagreements. Silence in this context becomes a shield, a tool for self-preservation, and a strategy for fostering respect and curiosity from those around you. When someone tests your boundaries or challenges your emotional equilibrium, the temptation to react can be overwhelming. However, giving in to that temptation often leads to regret, as emotional reactions rarely bring about the desired outcome. Instead, silence provides an opportunity to pause, reflect, and maintain control over the situation. This deliberate choice to withhold an immediate response demonstrates emotional maturity and self-discipline, qualities that naturally command respect. It signals that you are not easily swayed by external pressures and that your sense of self-worth is not dependent on someone else's actions or approval. Choosing silence does not mean suppressing your emotions or avoiding confrontation altogether. Instead, it involves channeling your energy into thoughtful actions and measured responses that align with your values and priorities. For instance, if someone disrespects you or dismisses your efforts, responding with silence can be a powerful way to shift the dynamic. By not engaging in arguments or justifications, you communicate that their behavior does not define your worth or dictate your emotions. This silent stance often forces the other person to reflect on their actions and, in many cases, reconsider their approach. In romantic relationships, silence can serve as a reminder of your individuality and independence. When someone takes your presence for granted or fails to appreciate your efforts, withdrawing your energy and focus subtly emphasizes the value you bring to the table. It is a way of saying, without words, that you will not chase after someone who does not recognize your worth. This creates a natural sense of intrigue and respect, as people tend to value what they cannot easily attain. Silence, in this sense, becomes a boundary that protects your emotional well-being and preserves your dignity. Another powerful aspect of silence is its ability to foster curiosity and introspection. When you stop reacting to someone's actions or words, they are left to grapple with the absence of your attention or validation. This silence often prompts them to reflect on their behavior and its impact on the relationship. It shifts the focus away from you and onto them, creating a space where they must confront their own feelings and motivations. This dynamic can be particularly effective in situations where someone has been dismissive or indifferent, as it forces them to acknowledge the void created by your absence. Silence can also serve as a tool for self-discovery and empowerment. By stepping back and refraining from unnecessary communication, you give yourself the time and space to focus on your own growth and priorities. This shift in focus not only strengthens your sense of self, but also enhances your ability to approach relationships from a place of abundance rather than neediness. When you invest in your own happiness and fulfillment, it becomes evident to others that you are not dependent on external validation for your sense of worth. This independence and confidence are magnetic qualities that naturally draw people toward you. Nonverbal cues play a significant role in amplifying the impact of silence. Your body language, demeanor, and actions during moments of silence communicate far more than words ever could. For example, maintaining calm and steady eye contact, carrying yourself with confidence, and continuing to pursue your goals and interests all convey strength and resilience. These silent actions send a clear message that you are in control of your emotions and that you will not allow external factors to disrupt your peace or stability. Silence is not about creating distance or alienation. It is about fostering deeper connections and understanding. By choosing to remain silent in certain situations, you demonstrate a willingness to listen, observe, and understand the dynamics at play. This approach often leads to more meaningful and constructive interactions, as it shows that you are not driven by impulsive emotions, but by a genuine desire to build authentic relationships. In many cases, silence creates a space for others to open up and share their thoughts and feelings, leading to greater clarity and mutual respect. Additionally, silence can be a form of self-care. In a world that often demands constant communication and interaction, choosing to step back and embrace silence allows you to recharge and refocus. It provides an opportunity to assess your priorities, set boundaries, and reaffirm your values. This intentional practice of silence not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also strengthens your ability to navigate relationships with confidence and grace. Ultimately, the power of silence lies in its ability to convey strength, self-respect, and emotional intelligence. It is a reminder that you do not need to explain or justify yourself to anyone, and that your worth is not determined by external validation. By mastering the art of silence, you create a sense of mystery and intrigue that compels others to recognize and value your presence. In doing so, you pave the way for deeper, more authentic connections and relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. Silence, when used thoughtfully and intentionally, is not just the absence of words, it is a profound statement of self-worth and resilience. Silence can be transformative, not just for others, but for yourself as well. It has the power to unlock your potential, strengthen your inner core, and allow you to step into a version of yourself that is truly unshakable. When you master the art of silence, it doesn't just change the way people perceive you, it profoundly shifts the way you perceive yourself. This shift forms the foundation for a life rooted in authenticity, confidence, and purpose. When you choose silence, you create space to listen to your inner voice, the one that often gets drowned out by the noise of external opinions, societal pressures, and the chaos of daily life. Silence becomes a tool for self-reflection, allowing you to ask yourself the hard questions: who are you without the approval of others? What do you truly want from life? What values guide your decisions and actions? These questions, though uncomfortable, lead you toward clarity and self-awareness, and this clarity is your greatest strength. It allows you to define your worth based on your principles rather than the fleeting opinions of others. As you grow comfortable in silence, you begin to develop an inner resilience that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Challenges that once felt insurmountable start to lose their power over you because you realize that you are not defined by them. Instead, you are defined by how you respond to them. Silence teaches you to sit with discomfort rather than running from it. It allows you to process pain, learn from it, and emerge stronger on the other side. This resilience is not loud or boastful, it is steady, grounded, and yielding. For silence also becomes a reflection of your confidence. In a world where people often feel the need to explain, defend, or justify themselves, your ability to remain silent sets you apart. It signals that you are secure in who you are and that you do not seek validation from others. This confidence is magnetic. It draws people toward you, not because you demand their attention, but because your self-assurance is quietly captivating. It shows that you have nothing to prove and that you are at peace with yourself. This peace radiates outward and impacts the way you interact with others. When you approach relationships from a place of inner strength, you set the tone for mutual respect and understanding. Silence becomes a boundary, a way of saying, I value myself enough to protect my energy and prioritize my well-being. This boundary does not push people away. Instead, it teaches them how to treat you. It shows that you are not afraid to walk away from situations or relationships that do not honor your worth. In romantic relationships, this silent strength is particularly powerful. If someone dismisses or underestimates you, your silence is not an act of retaliation. It is a statement of self-respect. It communicates that you will not beg for their attention or try to convince them of your value. Instead, you shift your focus inward, pouring your energy into your growth and happiness. This quiet confidence is far more impactful than any words you could say. It creates an undeniable presence that lingers long after the conversation ends. Silence also creates space for others to reflect. When you stop chasing, explaining, or overextending yourself, it forces people to consider what they might be losing. It is human nature to take things for granted until they are no longer readily available. Your silence becomes a mirror, prompting others to reevaluate their behavior and priorities. And while their reflection may or may not lead to a change, it is not your responsibility to manage their growth. Your focus remains on your journey and the peace that comes with knowing you have honored yourself. Beyond relationships, silence becomes a guiding principle in your pursuit of purpose and fulfillment. It teaches you to tune out distractions and stay focused on what truly matters. It reminds you that your time and energy are precious resources not to be squandered on negativity or meaningless pursuits. When you embrace silence, you find the strength to say no to things that do not align with your goals. You create room for opportunities and experiences that enrich your life and bring you closer to your vision. Silence is not passive, it is intentional and active. It is not about shutting the world out, it is about choosing what you let in. It is not about avoiding conflict, it is about responding with wisdom and discernment. It is not about withholding love, it is about loving yourself enough to know when to walk away. This intentionality transforms silence into a powerful tool for self-empowerment and growth. As you cultivate this practice, you may notice a shift in the way people respond to you. Those who once dismissed or underestimated you begin to see you in a new light. They sense your strength, even if they cannot articulate it. And while their recognition is not your goal, it is a testament to the power of your silence. You do not need to shout to be heard or demand to be valued. Your presence speaks volumes, and your silence says everything they need to know. The journey to mastering silence is not always easy. It requires patience, discipline, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. But the rewards are immeasurable. You gain a sense of inner peace that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. You develop a quiet confidence that draws people toward you and inspires respect. And most importantly, you create a life that is aligned with your values and true to who you are. In choosing silence, you choose yourself. You choose strength over fear, peace over chaos, and authenticity over pretense. And in doing so, you discover that silence is not an absence, it is a presence. It is a statement of who you are and what you stand for. And that, more than anything, is what makes you truly unshakable.